Hi, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Litter Media Live. I'm Mike Smith, along with co-host Aaron Glandon. Dan Ramey is on assignment, actually today and tomorrow. I think Dan explained his whereabouts during the show yesterday.
Yes.
And I know he's got a tough duty today with a couple of aunts that passed away pretty much at the same time. That can't be an easy task, as he's doing a funeral, a double funeral for today. So keep Dan in your prayers today as he has that task today. Sun's out, snow's melting, a little bit of wind this morning that probably makes it feel a little cooler than the actual temperature.
It wasn't cold out.
Did you walk to work today?
No.
Then you wouldn't have felt it.
That's true.
When I went outside to take the trash cans in, I thought, whoa, it looks like it's warm, but it feels a little cooler. But here's what we're talking about on the weather front. Sunshine today through the daytime hours on Thursday. Highs will be mostly in the low to mid 40s, so we're expecting to get up there in the low 40s this afternoon. There's a chance of rain in the evening and overnight Thursday, and then on Friday and Saturday. A daytime high of 52 on Friday, and then we're back down in the 40s for the weekend. We've got a story coming up, it's actually online today, but we'll touch on it on this program tomorrow, about making sure your homes are clear of ice jams, or what they call ice dams, in your gutters, because that can ruin your roof. We'll explain that more to you tomorrow, but you can go to our website and see that story. Also, some updates on that water emergency down in Waverly. We'll tell you all about that coming up here on Litter Media Live.
First, we want to tell you about Haynes Total Healthcare Center. They're celebrating 50 years of serving the chiropractic, physical therapy, and nutritional needs of the community. Click on this ad anywhere you see it on littermedia.com, and it will take you right to their website to learn more. HaynesHealth.com.
Each week, we'll announce the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And in December, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Nominate any amateur athlete by visiting littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. You'll also see the players we've named throughout the year. Make your nomination today for the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union.
Whenever I first applied for the ArchWiz opportunity, do I have to pay this back? Do I have to do that? Is it a loan? And it's not. It's a scholarship. A goal of mine is to graduate college debt-free. If you're a crew member, you get $2,500 a year, and if you're a manager, you get $3,000. And especially if you're going locally to college, like to the branch or something like that, it's really helpful.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
All right, let's roll right into the headlines. By the way, we hope that you'll bookmark our website at littermedia.com, and what you see right up there at the top is our top story for the news today. That water emergency that was in effect for Waverly Sunday night into Monday has now been lifted. In fact, it was lifted at about 7:30 this morning. However, a boil advisory is in effect for the entire village. So city officials advise water users in Waverly to boil their water for drinking and cooking vigorously for at least a minute before using. And that boil advisory is in effect until further notice, but you can, again, use the water. Just remember the boil advisory. Ross County Honor Band performs tonight at 7 o'clock at Chillicothe High School Auditorium. Dr. Gretchen McNamara of Wright State University's Music Department will be the guest conductor. Child Protection Center has officially changed its name to the Garden Family Advocacy Center. That according to CEO Rhiannon Gill. Now, I asked Rhiannon about the reasons why. She said they'll try to get a press release out to us sometime later today with more details about why they've changed their name.
Yeah. Pickaway Ross Adult Education is registering students for their electrical course, which starts March 17th. Classes will be Monday through Thursday from 4 to 10 p.m. at the Cross Chapel Road campus. Call 740-642-1288 or go to pickawayross.com/adult-ed to register.
Ohio Department of Transportation announcing the award of $8.7 million to support bridge projects as part of ODOT's local major bridge program. This round of funding goes to modernization and repairing 4 bridges in Franklin, Fairfield, Hamilton, and Lake counties. Now, the one in Fairfield County is a $1 million painting project on County Road 33A. That's the bridge over Broad Street in Lancaster.
Ladies of Junior Civic League are providing an opportunity to add new members. They'll be having a new member interest night for any women who would like to know more about the Junior Civic League. This event is for any level of interest, and there's absolutely no pressure to join if you attend. The gathering will be this Thursday, January 30th, between 6 to 7 p.m. at the Carlisle Building in downtown Chillicothe.
Before and after school programs at the Pike County YMCA are now open for registration. The programs are available for children who attend Waverly, Piketon, and Eastern schools, and those 3 only. You must be at least in the grade of kindergarten, but the age range is age 5 through 12. If you're interested, email learn@PikeCountyYMCA.org.
Local businesses wanting to be a sponsor for the Big Brothers Big Sisters of South Central Ohio Bowl for Kids' Sake are due this Friday. Sign up now before it is too late. Bowl for Kids' Sake 2025 is Sunday, March 9th from 12 to 2:30 p.m. at Shawnee Lanes in Chillicothe.
And again, that's for businesses that want to sponsor the event. If you want to sign up to bowl, that's a whole different category, but You can find all that on the Big Brothers Big Sisters of South Central Ohio website. Have you ever bowled?
Yeah, I'm not good at it.
What's the highest you've ever bowled that you can remember?
Maybe like 140.
That's not bad.
I remember I bowled a 38 one time.
I think I bowled a 186, and that stuck in my head. I've never come close to that. I've been over 100 a few times, but yeah, I'm like you. I just don't bowl enough to be any good at it.
I had a roommate in college who was on the bowling team. And one summer he was out in Chillicothe visiting me, and he and I went bowling with the girl I was dating at the time, and she beat him.
Ooh.
And he was not happy about it. He kept making excuses, and he was like, well, the oil patterns are different when you're actually bowling in competition.
Oh, golly. Yeah, that's those oil patterns. And that's something you don't walk down the lane past the mark there.
Right.
Because they're, like Aaron said, they treat those lanes, and it's not for walking on, it's for the ball.
Have you ever accidentally stepped out onto it?
I think once. It is slick.
I took a step too far one time, and I wiped out. It was like a cartoon. My legs shot out from under me, and I fell right on my back.
It's almost like being on that ice behind us here on this screen. For those of you listening on Litter Media Radio that can't see the ice patterns behind us here on the Facebook Live screen. We'll talk about some sports. A lot of it has to do with high school and college basketball. What's on tap on Litter Media Radio tonight? All that ahead. Stay with us. Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor, on target for your needs. And I know we haven't mentioned this in a while, but whether it's residential or commercial, they can take care of any of these 3 categories. And Accurate has spread their wings in recent years. They're not just in the Scioto Valley. They're all over central Ohio, southern Ohio, over in the Dayton area, eastern Ohio, Columbus. If you have a heating, cooling, and plumbing need, give Accurate a call.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Life, it can get on top of you quickly, can't it? But with 211, it only takes one step to get connected to the help you need. 211 is always available to help. So get in touch today.
Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe, and family-friendly events and festivals. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today. Introducing the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. We want to put your pet in the spotlight. Pets with paws to pets with fins. If they gallop, crawl, or slither, play fetch, or simply curl up and snuggle. Send us a photo of your pet and we'll announce a new pet each week. And one pet will be crowned Pet of the Year. To nominate your pet, visit littermedia.com. Click on Pet of the Week. Tell us about your pet and be sure to include a photo. Watch Litter Media Live each Thursday for the announcement of the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. No purchase necessary. Contest applications must be from Ohio residents and at least 18 years old.
You know, we're coming up on spring cleanup time, and as you see on our screen here, Scioto Valley Dumpsters, one of our great sponsors, the big orange dumpsters that they can bring to your property. You load it up, they'll take it away. 253-8389 for a free quote from Scioto Valley Dumpsters. Let's get into sports. High school basketball on tap around the area last night. A slew of boys and girls games. One boys game that we had note of, Lancaster beat Tays Valley 69-50. One SVC girls game. This was a make-good game from an earlier postponement. First place Uniota rolls past Paint Valley. MSL Buckeyes. Circleville had a tough time with Amanda Clear Creek. Circleville winning at 44-38. Circleville girls remain one game out of first place behind Fairfield Union, and their big matchup for the possible league championship is this Friday. Wheelersburg, Minford, South Gallia, Greene, Notre Dame, Hillsborough over Chillicothe. Grove City beat Tays Valley girls, and a number of other scores there as well. Don't forget, tonight, Litter Media Radio heads down to Pike County as the Eastern Eagles travel to Western to take on the Indians. That's a rematch of Eastern's 2-point victory earlier this season. I think that was 64-62.
That was a good game.
Were you down there for that one?
I was. And it came down to the wire.
Yeah, Dan had the play-by-play on that one, and you and BJ will be down there with Dan tonight down in Dan Ramey country near Western High School for a big, big matchup between those longtime rivals. Speaking of another Pike County youngster, Trey Robertson had a big week we told you about last week. Robertson has been named the River States Conference Men's Basketball Offensive Player of the Week. The Waverly native shot 58% overall and scored a career-high 41 points in a win over IU Southeast last Thursday. Over a two-game period, Robertson averaged 28 points and 5 assists.
OSU men's basketball took down Iowa last night, 82-65. And the Cavs, they broke their losing streak with a win over Detroit, 110-91.
Let's see, now they're 37-9, I think. I believe that's correct.
That sounds right.
Still in first place in the NBA East, but they do not have the best record in the NBA anymore. They got passed up during that 3-game losing streak. When we come back, this date in history, a solemn day. It's one of those where, do you remember where you were when this happened? All that from 1986, coming up on Litter Media Live.
Litter Quality Propane, 92 years of serving propane users in southern and central Ohio. Reliable supply, reliable service, reliable people.
As a professional race car driver, I live for speed, power, and performance, on and off the track. That's why I use the Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower. Race into your local dealership today and test drive a new Dixie Chopper.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch just to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing. Download the Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
I'm a busy woman, and I'm not ready to slow down. Tiffany's hip pain was interfering with her career and active lifestyle until she came to the Adina Orthopedic and Spine Institute.
Dr. Meshbach told me about same-day surgery. I said, I want it now, and I wanted it yesterday.
After a successful procedure, Tiffany was home the very same day and on her way back to enjoying the community she calls home. At Adina, we do what we love, so you can too.
This date in history, I can remember 1986, about this time, I was in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I was interviewing Pete Rose, who at that time was the player manager of the Cincinnati Reds.
Right.
There were a couple of other reporters around me. And, of course, as we do this program live, it's 11:15. But it was at about 11:38 that morning, someone came out and said, hey, the space shuttle just blew up. And one of the other reporters said, okay, what's the catch? And they said, no, it's on television. So probably the only time Pete Rose was ever just abandoned by everybody that left him to go into the conference room and watch this as the Space Shuttle Challenger exploded after liftoff. Krista McCullough was on her way to becoming the first ordinary U.S. civilian to travel into space. 73 seconds later, hundreds on the ground, including Krista's family, stared in disbelief as the shuttle broke up in a forking plume, as you see on the picture here, of smoke and fire. Millions more watched the wrenching tragedy unfold on live TV as there were no survivors. Of course, as we look back over all of the years of the space shuttle missions, this was the first of two space shuttles that exploded. The other, that happened on reentry years later. So but this is a terrible day that a lot of folks remember where they were on this date in 1986 at 11:38 a.m. You were, of course, weren't born yet.
No.
Have you ever seen video of this?
I have, yeah. And it's wild to see because, like you said, it was just after takeoff. Mm-hmm. So you're sitting there celebrating the launch of a shuttle because these things take years to prepare, and then it all just goes wrong. Disaster hits.
It had been very cold in Florida that week. They'd already delayed one of the takeoffs because of ice that had built up on the ship. And I think it was another cold day. And I think later on their investigation found that the O-rings, they were like rubber seals. And that's where the gas or the fuel that it leaks, it did leak out, that eventually led to the explosion. So just a very tragic situation. Of course, the space shuttle altogether has been retired now. They've moved on to other rockets, and SpaceX and all that's doing NASA's job for them instead of NASA doing it. That's going to wrap things up today. Aaron's got an assignment this afternoon that we'll talk a little bit about on the show tomorrow, as well as probably you'll see something on Litter Media YouTube later on. And then, of course, Litter Media Radio tonight. Dan Ramey, BJ Daly, and Aaron will be down at Western High School for the big Pike County rivalry between the Indians and the Eastern Eagles. Airtime somewhere around 7:20.
You won't hear me on the radio, though.
Well, you should stop up for a comment or two.
Probably not.
You could be the halftime guest. You can tell them what you had at the concession stand.
I usually don't get anything because I don't carry cash on me.
That could be a regular feature on our Litter Media Radio games from now on. What did Aaron have at the concession stand?
I could contribute to a halftime discussion in a football game. I'm not really a basketball guy. I don't know if I'd have much to say.
Well, you could tell us what you ate.
Yeah, but who wants to hear that?
It could be like the food report during the ball game. And then they would envy you because you didn't bring them anything to eat. Mm. And who knows, you might even luck out. You could say, this is part of a feature that I'm doing, and maybe they would give you.
Maybe.
To give props to the concession stand. What an idea. Something to consider. So check them out tonight on the radio. We'll see you, good Lord willing, here tomorrow at about 11 o'clock for another edition of Litter Media Live.